Welcome back to Massetti's Math Movies, where it's a cute to be a square. Today's lesson is 8.2, Angles and Polygons. By the end of the lesson, you'll be able to find the measures of interior and exterior angles of a polygon. Previously, we've talked about how to find the angles in a triangle and in a quadrilateral. And hopefully you remember that in a triangle, there's 180 degrees, and in a quad, there's 360 degrees. Well, what about all the rest of the shapes, right? What about a five-sided shape? What about a six-sided shape? That's what we're going to talk about today. So there's a formula we can use that will give you any shape angle that you want. So the total of the interior, so we're doing inside. The total of the interior angles of any convex polygon with n sides, so whatever number you want, you're going to take the number that you want, subtract 2, and multiply by 180. So, and we did an activity that showed this, because this is the number of triangles you need, and each triangle has 180 degrees. All right, so let's verify this. Let's make sure this is right. So let's say we're talking about a triangle, right? N stands for the number of sides. Maybe we should write that down here. N equals the number of sides. So you take the number of sides, you subtract 2, and you multiply by 180. All right, so let's try it for the triangle. I'm going to show you that this works for a triangle. We know that there's 180 degrees in a triangle. So n stands for the number of sides. How many sides in a triangle? Well, 3 sides in a triangle. So we're going to take 3, here's our formula right here, and we're going to plug 3 in for n. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 times 180 is 180. So this formula shows us that there's 180 degrees in a triangle. All right, now let's check for a quad. We know in a quad there's supposed to be 360. Well, in a quad, what's n going to be? N is the number of sides. Well, in a quad, that would be 4. So we're going to put 4 in for n. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 times 180 is 360. And that's what we knew. We knew quad should be 360. All right, so now we could figure out 5, 6, or 7. All we have to do is plug that number in right here. So if you look at example 1, just find the sum, so find the total of the interior angles of a heptagon. Well, heptagon means 7 sides. So how many degrees does a heptagon have? So we know that n is equal to 7, right? That's what heptagon means. So we're going to take 7 and plug it into our equation. 7 minus 2 is 5, and 5 times 180, that's the total number of degrees in a heptagon. Okay, so 5 times 180, there's 900 degrees in a heptagon. That's a lot. Right? And if you ever forget, you can always draw your triangles. Right? You pick a vertex, you figure out how many triangles are in that shape. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 triangles. And that's why we did 5 times 180. So the total measures inside a heptagon is 900 degrees. In example 1, is your answer true for any convex heptagon? And that is yes. Every heptagon has 900 degrees, just like every triangle has 180 degrees. Every heptagon contains 900 degrees. Example 2 says find the measure of angle A. So we need to find how much is here. Well, how many degrees do we need total in this shape? We need to find out what kind of shape this is. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 6-sided shape. How many degrees are in a six-sided shape? Well, we need to plug that into our formula. All right, here's our formula. N minus 2 times 180. And we know n is 6. So 6 minus 2 times 180. That's 4 times 180. 4 times 180. That's 720 degrees in this shape. So I want you to put 720 right in the middle. That's how many degrees are total in this shape. So how much are we missing? That's the question. Well, how much do we already have? We already have 136. Oh, another 136. 88, 142, and 105. And we have to get all the way to 720. All right, so let's add up. Let's see what we already have. 136 plus 136 plus 88 plus 142 plus 105. We already have 607 degrees. So how much more do we need to get to 720? Well, 720 minus 607. We need 116. Oh, that wasn't 116. That was 113, I believe. We need 113 more degrees because we had to get to 720 total. Find the measure of n. This means one of one angle of an octagon. Well, in order to do one angle, we need to know how many degrees total in an octagon. So an octagon has 8 sides. So we plug this into our formula. Right? 8 minus 2. 8 minus 2 is 6. So 6 times 180. 6 times 180. 1,080 degrees. An octagon has 1,080 degrees. But I just want one angle, and look, they're all equal. So I have to split this up equally. So I'm going to take 1,080 and divide it by how many I want to share. I only want one of those angles, and there are 8 of them. So each of them are 135 degrees. 135 degrees. All right, the follow-up is very similar to this. We just did 8, right? We just found out the sum. So here's sum, that's the total, and then here's 1. So the total in an octagon is 1080. So that means if it's regular, one angle, right, we divide by 8. One angle we said is 135. So in a triangle, what's the total in a triangle? Well, we already know that's 180. And if they're all the same, right, that's what it means to be irregular, what's one of them going to be? Well, we've got to divide by 3. One of them is going to be 60. All right? So remember, to do this, the formula you're going to use is n minus 2 times 180, and here's n, right? 3, 4, 5, plug it in here, and then you're going to divide by whatever n is to get your answer here. So we'll do one more together. So a quad, if we put in here 4 minus 2 is 2, 2 times 1 is 360. Oh, we already knew that. We already knew there was 360 degrees in a quad. And if it's regular, if all the angles are the same, what's one angle? We got to divide by 4. 360 divided by 4 is 90. Oh yeah, we knew that because the square is regular and it's got 90 degrees. So I want you to finish this. All right, use this formula to get this answer, and then divide by the number of sides to get this answer. And it's okay if you have decimals. Decimals are okay. Decimals are okay. All right, checkpoint. Find the measure of angle G. Okay, so your first step is to find the total. degree. All right, how many degrees do we need in this shape? And write that right in the middle. That's you use the formula n minus 2 times 180. And step number 2 is to find how much more you need. Many more degrees do you need? All right, so if you need an example, these are just like example 2. All right, then down here, this is just like example 3. So you need to find the total and then divide by the number that you have. In this case, we have a 12-sided shape. So you're going to divide by 12 because you just want to find one angle. All right, so go ahead, do these now. Look back at these examples. If you are having trouble, go look at this example. See what we did. Watch it again if you need to. So for exterior angles, now this is different. This is a total of the exterior. So look at, we're working on the outside now. This is different. Please make sure you note the difference. In the exterior, they always, no matter how many there are, it's always equal to 360. Kind of think of it like a circle, right? All the way around the outside, it's always 360 degrees, no matter what shape you're dealing with. So if you look here, we're dealing with the exteriors, and we know all the exteriors always make 360. So 95 plus 85 plus 2x plus x equals 360. See, here's our equation. All 4 of them added together make 360. So let's simplify this. 85 and 95 together make 180. And 2x and 1x make 3x. Right, now I'm going to subtract 180 from both sides, right? Minus 180, minus 180. And I get 3x is equal to 180. Divide by 3. I get x is equal to 60. All right, let's check that to make sure that worked. So I'm going to put in 60 here and 60 here and make sure that works. All right, you ready? So 95 plus 85 plus 60 plus 2 times 60 is 360 degrees. That's perfect because we know that there's 360 degrees on the outside of any shape. So now you get to do this. So add all of these up and set it equal to 360. Your total needs to be 360 every time. This is just like example 4. Do this now. Don't forget about your 90 degrees here. Maybe write that in. Don't forget. This is M cubed signing out.